Dragon's Dogma 2 is now only days away from release. Capcom's highly anticipated sequel has some huge news from the latest round of interviews and gameplay previews that you may have missed. From changes to the armor and quest systems to details surrounding player houses, there's been some super interesting reveals. In this video, I'm going to break down all of the exciting news so that you're fully up to speed with Dragon's Dogma 2 for release day, so let's get started. First up, let's talk about the in-game achievements. The achievement list for Dragon's Dogma 2 has recently released online and contains some exciting details. Now, don't worry, I'm not going to talk about any spoilers in this video, so I'll leave a link to the full achievement list in the description for those of you that want to check it out. But there are some exciting insights from the achievement list that we can talk about that don't contain any main story or boss related spoilers. Overall, there will be 55 achievements in the game, categorised as 1 platinum, 2 gold, 6 silver and 46 bronze. One achievement that's particularly interesting is the "A House in This Economy" achievement. This is unlocked when the player purchases a dwelling of their own. This is super exciting as it confirms that we will be able to purchase property in the game. I think this is a great addition to Dragon's Dogma 2. Having your own home in a game is super exciting, especially in an open world RPG, as it makes it just that little bit more immersive. The achievement also suggests that there will be different properties for us to choose from, which is pretty cool, and I can definitely imagine there being some in Vermund and some in Batal. The level of customization for our homes has not yet been confirmed, but I see no reason as to why they would add houses to the game and then not give us a decent level of customization to go with it. I'm personally hoping for something similar to the system in Skyrim, but we'll have to see upon release. Overall, this is a great improvement from the first game, where the Arisen technically had a house, but couldn't really interact with it meaningfully. This time around, I'm hoping we can display weapons, armour and other items in our own home. Another important piece of news that's just been revealed is the changes to armour. In a recent interview, the game's director was asked about changes to the armour system and he had this to say. So for Dragon's Dogma 2, we changed the armour system and simplified it with the goal that people choose different things to have more visual variety. We wanted to balance it in a way so that people wouldn't end up always choosing the same things. In that regard, we added more variety and simplified the system. Rather than having an inner and outer, we divided the equipment for the upper half of the body and the lower half of the body. We added helms and capes. There are some presets, but overall, well, something that happened in the previous game at high levels was that people would go for the same kind of equipment in the end. This time we made a conscious goal of trying to create something that even at higher levels, people would be encouraged to choose different things. Essentially, they've removed the outer and inner armour items in the first game and have gone with the classic head, torso and leg armour. They've also designed it so there aren't overpowered items that everybody ends up with in the end of the game. My guess is they've probably made armour pieces that have specific bonuses for different classes, which make it more unique to the player. I think this is a positive change and it complements the changes to player stats very well. The director has also commented that character stats are based on your vocation, but they've also made adjustments in a way so that your stats don't feel capped. They've done this by adjusting the stats so they won't get stalled based on your level. By this, I think he means you are not restricted to putting points into certain stats by your current level. So if you wanted to really level up one specific thing at a time, you can. The director has also pointed out that players will not be able to reallocate their stats freely. This is good to know, so it seems assigning your points will be a pretty serious decision in the game, and you may want to take your time choosing wisely. A big part of any serious RPG is how your actions can affect different quest outcomes in the game. In the original Dragon's Dogma, your actions could have huge consequences, and it's now been confirmed that this will also be the case for the sequel. The Dragon's Dogma team have issued a little warning about quest progression. The warning says that some quests are affected by the passage of time and will progress even without the Arisen's involvement. Taking on multiple quests at once comes with a risk of being unable to act in time, and this can result in unintended consequences. Try to bear the factor of time in mind when managing your current quests and taking on new ones. I'm sure a lot of players will be happy with this gameplay mechanic making a return. You will have to prioritise which quests you want to complete first and think wisely when accepting new quests, as you could end up with a not so good ending to a quest if you didn't complete it in time. For example, the IGN gameplay showcase showed a quest where the Arisen had to help a boy who was kidnapped by wolves. The player forgot about this and later found the boy's remains when exploring. I think this will really make the world and story of Dragon's Dogma 2 feel alive and very immersive. Now, we already know that your actions can also change your relationships with NPCs, but there's also potential relationships at stake if you forget about a quest for too long. Now, we don't know a huge amount about the main story in Dragon's Dogma 2, but it is a narrative-driven game where you get to decide how to approach different situations. It's unclear yet whether your decisions will affect the game's ending and whether there is multiple endings or not, but I kind of like not knowing and just accepting the adventure that lies ahead. Another super exciting part of RPGs is of course the character creator. From what we've seen so far, the character creator in Dragon's Dogma 2 looks very impressive with a bunch of different options to choose from. What's new, however, is Capcom have done something really cool and released a free version of the creator ahead of the release date. You can now download the free character creator from the game on Xbox, PlayStation and Steam and try out the customization tool to practice making your character. As a side note, it's pretty funny seeing all the different characters players have made in the free tool, like here when Reddit user KillingJoke619 made Lae'zel from Baldur's Gate 3. Of course, characters made here will carry over to the full game on launch day, saving you a little bit of time if you want to dive straight into the game as soon as possible. And last but not least, Capcom have revealed something pretty cool when it comes to pawns. There will be a select number of official pawns that you can choose from in the game. These are basically influencers and content creators who've been made into a pawn that you can choose to have in your party. There's a few things different about official pawns, such as no Rift Crystal cost when hiring them, their equipment cannot be changed once hired, and they may only have a limited availability period. You can see the full list of official pawns on the Dragon's Dogma website, which I will have linked in the description below. Dragon's Dogma 2 is definitely going to be a contender for Game of the Year and I'm so excited to play it. Are you guys going to play it on release day next Friday? Let me know in the comments down below. If you're new here, please check out my Twitch channel linked in the description below, where I'll be streaming Dragon's Dogma 2 over the next couple of weeks, so come and join the community for some wholesome gameplay. Please don't forget to hit the like button if you enjoyed the video and subscribe to the channel for more RPG gaming news. As always, thank you for watching, see you next time.